Hi, my name's Nick from Taunton Leisure, and today we're here in our Exeter store to look at the new Rab Microlight. The Microlight's been in Rab's range for nearly 10 years now, and it's been a firm favourite with all our customers. They've updated it 3 or 4 times in that time, and they've improved the fabrics and the fill power and the sustainability of the jacket itself. First things first, let's look at the different variations you have in the Microlight range. For men, we stock the Microlight Alpine, the Microlight Jacket, and the Microlight Vest. For ladies, we keep the Microlight Jacket, the Microlight Alpine, the Microlight Alpine Long. Unfortunately, we haven't got the vest in our range. If you haven't owned a Microlight before, I'm just going to run through the differences between the models quickly, just to give you an idea of what's going on. So the Microlight Jacket is just that. It's a jacket. It's got 2 hand warmer pockets and a reasonably high neck. The Microlight Alpine basically just adds a hood and 1 chest pocket. So that's the only difference between that. And the vest is basically just the jacket without arms. So that's pretty simple as well. The only other difference for the ladies is the Microlight Alpine Long. So that's the jacket again with a hood, and it's a longer length in the body. It's roughly 4 centimetres longer than the standard Microlight Alpine for ladies, particularly in the back of the jacket area there. So let's have a quick chat about the materials that Rab use in the construction of the Microlight. Now obviously they're really good quality. Rab only use the best quality materials. The face fabric that you can see, and in fact the face fabric and the lining, they're both produced by Pertex, which is one of the best manufacturers of fabric in the world, certainly for outdoor gear. It's 100% recycled, so every single strand that you can see on here is 100% recycled nylon, which is pretty amazing. The outer of the fabric itself is 30 denier, and it's got a durable water repellent treatment on it, which is great. It will shrug off a little bit of the rain. On the inside of the jacket, they use a thinner, lighter Pertex, softer weave, basically feels really nice. You could almost wear this next to your skin if you wanted to. You wouldn't, but you could. So that's great. So basically, that's all recycled, everything you can see, brilliant. The down inside the jacket is also 100% recycled. Now, it's pretty complicated, but basically they use an Italian firm called Pure, who source all their down from the bedding industry. So old pillows, old duvets, that kind of thing. So they take that down. It could be a mixture of goose or duck. They wash it, sterilize it, and then treat it with Nick Wax Proofer. So basically the down has some moisture resistance. And then they send it off to Rab, and Rab use it in this garment. So that's pretty amazing. So most of the jacket you can see is recycled. The zips, they come from YKK, again, one of the best zip manufacturers. They're not recycled, but they can be recycled once you finish with this garment, much like all of the other pieces. So from a sustainability point of view, this is an amazing piece. In fact, this garment, or the Microlight range, is the biggest part of Rab's range, and it's basically all recycled, which is amazing. Okay, let's talk about some of the features of the jacket. I'm going to use the Alpine version because that's got all the features, so everything that any of the other versions have got. So we'll start at the top. So basically the hood. Now the hood on this jacket is really, really good. It's got a great fit actually. The shaping of the baffles in all directions is really, really good. So it's not too big. You wouldn't be able to fit a helmet underneath this, but you'll easily be able to fit a big winter hat underneath it if you wanted to stay a bit warmer. So at the back of the hood, it's got a nice little bit of elastication. So that really helps with the fit around the back there, around the back of your head, which is nice. You've got a stiffened peak at the front, which basically just stops it flapping around in the wind, but also once you've got it adjusted up, stops it dropping down over your eyes as well, which is good. The hood itself is adjustable. and there's elastication runs right around underneath the peak there, and the retainers are in here, and you can simply adjust it up. They're hidden away. Great if you've ever had a garment, certainly 10 years ago, they often never put the adjusters inside. So of course, you do it up. What happens when it's windy? They hit you in the eye. It's really, really unpleasant. So they're hidden away in there as well. One-handed, you can use them quite easily with a glove as well because it's all retained in there. So that's great. Next up is the baffles on the main garment itself. On the whole garment, it's all stitched through. So if you don't really know what stitched through is, it's basically where you can see the stitching. That means the fabric meets at the front and the back. Pretty simple design, a design that's been used for, you know, decades and decades. It's probably the original way of putting a down jacket together. That's partly to do with cost, because it's really expensive to make a box wool baffle jacket, and partly to do with the fact that you use much less fabric. So basically, it means you've got a slightly smaller pack size and a lighter weight when you use stitch through, which is advantageous when you're talking about lightweight jackets. So there's two types of baffle on the Rab Microlight. Basically, in the main body, so the chest area, the arms, the back, they use a micro baffle, and essentially it's a small baffle. But it's significantly larger than the nano baffles that they use, which run from the underneath of the armpit all the way down the side of the jacket. Now that nano baffle is basically, there's less down in there because it's smaller. You don't need it quite so much in the side of the jacket. Also means the jacket moves a little bit nicer there. I mean, probably doesn't make too much of a difference. But basically, it's just a nice little touch. Makes the jacket feel slightly lighter and makes it fit a little bit better as well around the sides of the garment. So that's your two types of baffle. Moving on to the zips. As I said before, they're YKK branded zips. Now they've got the handy little pull tab on them, and it's super easy to operate with a glove, which is nice. It's actually rubberized, so it's got a little bit of grip there as well, which is good. They're a decent size. The chest pocket, you can quite easily fit a decent pair. That's a mid-weight winter glove that I've got there. You know, the kind of thing you'd be using in winter with poles or an axe. And the hand warmer pockets as well. They're a really good size, plenty of room in there. Comes with a stuff sack, which is handy for stuffing away as well. And the main zip's a YKK zip as well. This is only a one-way zip, so there isn't two zip pullers on there like you would find on other more technical, maybe even belay jackets you want to call them, where they'd have a zip at the bottom so you can undo that area there if you're wearing it with a climbing harness, for instance, but not strictly necessary with the Microlight. So that's all the features. Okay, so let's talk about the fit of the Microlight. Rab call it a regular fit. They do make garments in other fits, like Expedition, for instance, where there's a lot more room inside the garment itself, but they base this on a regular body shape, so they say. So it's designed to fit as many people as possible, which is a good thing. And that's probably one of the reasons why it's been so popular over the years, because it does fit many, many different body types. I've got a large here, and it's pretty good. I've got long arms. I haven't got it zipped up, but basically the arm length is great. You can see that it goes over the top of a pretty chunky GPS watch quite happily. I can have that inside or out. The elastication in the cuffs allows for that, so that's good. So yeah, I can put my arms up, I can put them out if I was cycling or something like that, and it's not riding up at all, which is really good. There's plenty of room in the body area for me in a large. I'm 5'10", and as you can see, the coverage is really good around that area as well. So when it's cold, which you're going to be wearing this jacket, when it's chillier, it does provide good coverage. So that's good. Now, you could layer up significantly under this jacket. I've got another one of my things, which is another very thick fleece. They don't really make fleeces this thick anymore. It's another mountain hardware garment. So even with this thick fleece on, I can get it on underneath the large. So it's a bit of a squeeze, but it would work. So I can layer up underneath there quite happily. To be honest, if I needed to put this thicker fleece on underneath, I'd probably be looking at wearing a warmer jacket anyway. So more likely a base layer and a micro fleece underneath this jacket is probably what's best for your layering. But yeah, you can squeeze a bit more underneath it if you need to, if it's really, really cold, which is nice. And great thing with this jacket is basically I'd be wearing it over a t-shirt most of the time. So I might have a lightweight fleece underneath it, but I'd probably wear a t-shirt underneath it. Certainly if I was out walking on the moors on a day like today, it's 10, 12 degrees out there, I'd have this on, t-shirt underneath, be nice and warm. If it starts raining, it's not really a problem because this Microlight is just part of your layering system. So it takes the place of that really heavyweight fleece that I've got there, and it goes underneath the waterproof quite happily. So if it does start raining, I can simply just bang a waterproof straight over the top. Happy with that. So that really shows the versatility of the garment. Really, really good thing. You're going to be wearing it all the time, in my opinion. So why would you buy a Rab Microlight jacket or Alpine or vest? Well, that's one reason, because there's loads of different variations of the jacket. As you can see, there's loads of colours. There's many more colours than this in all the different variations of the garment as well. So that's nice, you've got plenty of choice. The jacket itself, it performs really, really well, as I mentioned earlier, against a fleece. Look at the pack size difference with that warm winter fleece that I showed you earlier compared to a Microlight jacket. No comparison really, which is good. So the weight penalty and the pack size penalty of this when you're carrying it around in your day bags, really minimal. And that's another reason. You're basically going to use this garment all the time. It's super versatile. So you can wear it when you're out climbing for belaying or even actually climbing in if it's really cold. You can wear it on your bike. If it's chilly, you're definitely going to want to wear that because wind chill's a factor. And these things are pretty windproof, which is good. And you're just going to throw it on every time you go down the shops or go to the pub. So yeah, versatility is key. So the Microlight jacket has so many good points. It's really hard to argue against not buying one if you're in the market for a lightweight insulated jacket. Thanks for watching today. And if you need any more information, please go to our website to check out the latest deals, or you can visit one of our 3 stores to try any of the jackets on and get help from our knowledgeable staff. Also, you could check out our YouTube channel today for more interesting gear reviews.